This is an open letter for Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, and whoever else uh, wants to know. Uh, I was blocked for 6 days from Facebook recently, and apparently the reason they blocked me, your organization blocked me, Mr. Zuckerberg, is that I wrote a comment on British Defense Journal. Apparently, British Defense Journal has a Facebook page, and they advertise there. They advertise their accomplishments, and the accomplishments they advertise are what you think they are. It's British Defense Journal. It's a propaganda machine for the British Defense Ministry, paid for by British arms manufacturers, military contractors and arms manufacturers, in order to promote what the British Defense Ministry is doing. And in this specific case, it was an advertisement basically saying that yes, one of the British Navy now has 2 aircraft carriers, and with the use of F-35 bombers, we bombed some Daesh people in the Middle East, and we ended their miserable life. Well, that was the idea. And, well, that was the news, and my comment was that the British pinkskins from the British island have got up and gone to on the other side of the planet, and yeah, they're blowing it up and they're eliminating some brown and black people. And this has been the case for centuries now. The British pinkskins are eliminating brown and black people for centuries. And apparently this was considered by Facebook as hate speech. I am, creating a hateful environment towards the British pinkskin. And I'm thinking to myself, you should be thinking to yourself, is this really hate speech? Because what it is just describing facts, Mr. Zuckerberg. If there are pinkskins from a pinkskin island in the northern hemisphere going to southern hemisphere, or farther down near equator on the other side of the planet, and blowing up some locals who happen to have a darker shade of skin, that's exactly what I was describing. It's factual to say that the pinkskins are blowing up the brown skins. It's factual. I guess what the Facebook expects me to write is what the propaganda is writing, affirmation of the propaganda, that the good guys are killing bad guys. End of story. That's a good thing, right? Well, we got a little more sophisticated than that, so we put names on things and we call them, sometimes they were Viet Cong, sometimes they were guerrilla fighters, sometimes they were this and that, and the terrorists and insurgents and Daesh and Maesh and Faesh. Fuck all of them. The point is, there is no reason for somebody else from another part of this planet go to somebody else and blow somebody else for whatever reason. Doesn't matter what reason. Does not matter. They're shit? Of course they're shit. It's a conservative geography of Earth. It's a geography of Earth that has remained conservative because it has never been really a destination, nor it has been on the crossroads. Some time ago it used to be on the crossroad, not the Arabian Peninsula. Arabian Peninsula never was on the crossroad. So they were shit, they are shit, they're going to remain shit forever. Shitty conservative, I mean. But being a conservative and liberal does not. Liberals, let's say, assume the British consider themselves liberal and that is supposed to be good. Now liberals and the same British consider the Daesh people stupid and backward and conservative. Well, nobody gives a right, nobody in the right mind would say that, liberals have a free blank check in killing conservatives. We should eliminate the world of these conservative shitheads. They're conservative because the area of earth that they were born in is conservative. If the geography that you're born in, if it's neither a destination nor on the crossroads, it will remain conservative, period. If the area of the planet Earth, the geography that you're born in, if it's on the crossroad, if it's not on the crossroad or a destination, you remain conservative because the contact is not there to liberalize people, to bring new ideas into the mix. So it's obvious that some areas of any planet, any geography in any planet, some areas are going to remain conservative, some areas are going to remain liberal. But the idea that because they're conservative and they're backward thinking and they are animals, we should go blow them up, doesn't make any sense. It's like saying the Amish, we should go and try to destroy Amish communities in United States because they're conservative and backward. There are many conservative and backwards communities in the United States, from the Amish to the Mennonites to the even a lot of communities of Mormons are very conservative, and you can call them backwards, but that doesn't give a blank check to anybody else to go eliminate them because the motherfuckers have chosen to be conservative. Not chosen, many of time their geography has been such that they remain conservative because they were not on the beaten path. They were neither a destination nor on the crossroad. So they, had very little contact with the outsiders. So their ideas remained rigid and became even more rigid by passage of time. But the whole idea that, first of all, giving a platform to the British Defense Journal, to the Pinkskins of the British Island to advertise their action as something good, which was their action is going to different parts of the world and blowing less technically advanced people apart. This is what they're doing. Technically, in arms manufacturing, the Pinkskins have become very advanced. So because of this advantage, apparently advantage of arms manufacturing makes them right. Might is right. So this advantage of arms manufacturing has been translated by the propaganda machine into we are right, we are the good guys because we are more technically advanced. That makes us the good guys, so we have the right to go blow up these motherfuckers. And what they're doing is apparently good and holy, and if anybody objects to this, they're being hateful. If anybody objects to people getting blown up, that's that their action is hateful. What they're saying is a hate speech. I'm sorry, if somebody, attacks the Amish, I'm going to defend the Amish too. Because I'm going to speak in defense of the Amish too, because they're conservative. They want to remain in their shitty conservative way. That doesn't give anybody the right to blow them up. Yes, they're violent. Let them be violent. They're not, as long as none of that violence goes into your land, which you think is non-violent, as long as none of that violence goes to your land, you should be fine. There is no idea, this whole, why would a nation allow that such thing as Bush doctrine to exist? Why would everybody just shut the fuck up and say, yes, Bush doctrine, yes, we know that, it's okay, yeah, we are okay with that. The doctrine that says we are going to take an offensive measure so we don't have to take a defensive measure? Well, Hitler could have explained all his attacks to everywhere in the world based on the same logic. We are going to attack them to rob them of the opportunity to attack us. You can justify any kind of offensive action with this kind of logic. That's why this kind of logic, logical people don't accept this kind of logic. I'm gonna shoot you and slaughter you because I think if I don't, you might do me. So based on an assumption, I'm going to attack first. Then you can bring up that assumption towards anybody, anywhere. You can attack anybody based on that assumption. All you have to say is that I thought he's going to attack me first. That's how so many black and brown people lose their life in the United States by the police, because all the police has to say is, implied immunity. What was the word for it they use? Implied immunity is sort of like, all they have to say is that I fear that he's going to attack. He's holding a cell phone. This is exactly what happened in Iraq. They didn't have weapons of mass destruction, but they were attacked for the same reason the police shoots and kills black and brown people in the United States, because the police says, we assume that wasn't a cell phone, it was a gun. We assume that wasn't a pen, it was a gun. We assume that chocolate bar was a gun because we didn't want to be attacked, so we attacked first. So exactly this logic is used on personal basis in the pink skin lands, as it is used internationally on planet Earth, in which pink skin says we're going to attack first because we don't want to give the other side the opportunity to attack first. So now there is no proof that the other side wants to attack. There is no proof that the other side has the ability to attack. Just like Iraq, they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. There is no proof that they have the tools. There is no proof that they want to attack. There is no proof anywhere, anyhow, anyway. But we are going to attack nevertheless. It's like going to the jungles of Amazon and attacking the tribesmen of jungles of Amazon. The pink skins going to Amazon, the British pink skin going to Amazon and killing Amazonian tribesmen, based on the fact that if they don't, these tribesmen are going to attack the British island. Because these tribesmen haven't left their homeland for millions of years, but now they will use their canoes and paddle all the way down the Amazon River, and then paddle those canoes all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, and then reach the British island and then attack the British, because that's as ridiculous as the British coming up and saying, yes, we should attack Iraq. No, folks, no. The British attacked Iraq and convinced Uncle Sam to help, because Iraq used to be a British colony. Afghanistan used to be a British colony. The British want their colonies back. British never really wanted to let go of their colonies. British pink skin are colonizers, period. Until the end of time, They want to colonize and abuse other races. This is who British are. They want to use and abuse other races on this planet. Period. The British pink skin. They're not only racist, but they're elitist. And that's even worse than racism. That's one step over racism is elitism that the British have and the French have. These two countries have had the most number of colonies around the world because of this racism and elitism. Germans are the least elitist and the least racist of the Europeans. Between the French, the British and the German, the British are the worst and then come the French. Germans are not the worst racist in Europe. The British are. Because they felt the right to go and colonize other people the most. When you feel you have the right to go and colonize the most number of people on the planet, that means you see yourself above all of them. Above all of them. What is that? That is racism. When you see yourself, your race, above everybody else, that's racism. When you see yourself as a pink skin above all other pink skin as well, as the British do, that's why the Brexit happened, because the British even see their pink skin above the other European pink skins. That's elitism. Yes. The pink skins of the British Island are eliminating, have been eliminating, and are eliminating, and will be eliminating the brown and the black and the red and the yellow skins all around the world, if they get a chance. That's not a hate speech. That's just the statement of facts, Mr. Zuckerberg. This is just statement of facts, Mr. Zuckerberg. Fact is the European pink skin in general and the British pink skin in specific have always felt they have the right to subjugate and slaughter and eliminate, if they have to, all other races on this planet. This is not a hate speech. This is a fact. Historical fact. Current fact. I can't speak about future, but doesn't matter what you call them. You call them insurgents, you call them terrorists, you call them guerrilla fighters, you call them Viet Cong, you call them Viet Minh, you call them reds and blues and greens and savages. It doesn't matter what the fuck you call them. If you are in somebody else's land and eliminating the locals, and you are involved in the process of eliminating the locals, there is no good way to say this. There is nothing good to say about it. That it is what it is. It's called colonizing, it's called genocide, it's called just killing because we can. This is not a hate speech. It's pronunciation of facts. The fact is, the British have made more sophisticated armament, and that has apparently given them the right to go and eliminate anybody they don't like around the world. That can't be right in any planet. And anybody who complains about that and says this cannot be right, this should not be accepted, that person is, banished by your website as a hate speech. It doesn't make sense. I don't have anything against pink skins. I have pink skinned friends. But the whole idea of many pink skin leaders in pink skin countries convincing their own people that we should go and eliminate a bunch of people on the other side of the planet, that is wrong. This is not against pink skins, this is against pink skin mentality. I have nothing against the pink skins on their own. This is against the pink skin mentality of saying that we are right and they're wrong, always. It doesn't matter at what level of, social development they are, and doesn't matter at what level of social development we are, but we are right and they're wrong, always. Because we got bigger guns. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that a whole pink skin international community is sanctioning, interfering in other parts of the world that are not pink skin, that doesn't have that many pink skin residents, but nevertheless going over there and interfering and killing bad guys and protecting good guys. There are no good guys or bad guys in conservative parts of the world, just like there are no good guys and bad guys in the liberal parts of the world. They're all shit. In conservative parts of the world, they're all shit. What I consider as shit. In the Middle East, they're all shit. They're all conservative. Especially the Arabian Peninsula. It's all shit. Because not only they never were a destination, they were never on the crossroad either. So they always have remained conservative for eons. No contact, conservative. Other parts of the Middle East, which used to be on the path of the Silk Road, they used to be liberal. Now, since the Silk Road was closed down due to shipping routes being open, now they have become conservative as well. And in a conservative area, geography of the world, which is not on the beaten path, and know that it's not a destination, they're all going to remain conservative and they're all going to remain shitty. There are no good guys and bad guys. Any one of them, if given a chance to kill their neighbor, they will. It's how it is over there. Conservative, backward, shitty people. They should be left alone. Nobody should sell them arms. And the most you can do for the Middle East is send them tourists. The best you can do for the Middle East is send them tourists, as much tourists as you can. Even if you have to, draft your people and send them pay them to go there as tourists. If you want to help them. If you want to bring them out of that conservative mindset. Bombing bad guys just, helps you determine how good your bombs are. But you're going to make more enemies. Every person that is eliminated, other people which see that elimination, they become involved in a bad way. They say, okay, who eliminated my neighbor? That person must be the bad guy because he just blew up my neighbor. So now you have 2 problems, 3 problems, 4. You had one enemy, and now you have 4 enemies, 5 enemies, 12 enemies, 20 enemies. The more you bomb, the more enemies you're going to have. What part of this is, I mean, this is, I'm sure the intelligent people who, lead the pink skin nations understand this. Why are they lying to their people, their pink skin people, and telling them that no, the solution is in bombing them? It's not. In fact, the opposite of solution is bombing them. By bombing them, you're creating more problems. Not only you're not bringing stability, not only you're not bringing peace, but you're increasing the number of your fucking enemies. Because everyone you bomb, he or she has a bunch of family and friends and neighbors that, identify with that person. Not politically, but, in terms of relationship, in terms of beliefs, they identify with that person. So you eliminate that person, now all these motherfuckers who used to identify with that shithead, now they're also your enemies as well. This is very simple, but the British people, the French people, the common people, unfortunately, in the pink skin land, the common people are extremely stupid. Not much more intelligent than the brown and the black skins. Because they don't get this fact that the more you get involved in other areas of the world, the more you kill them, the more enemies you're creating for yourself. And the politicians, your leaders who are telling you that we should go get involved and kill more of them in order to, make the world a better place, they get away with it because apparently the common pink skin doesn't understand that the more you kill of them, the more enemies you make. And the politicians get away with it. Folks, the only benefit of bombing and killing other people of other races in other parts of the world, my pink skin friends, the only benefit of, targeting the brown and the black and the yellow skins in other parts of the planet, which is not part of your responsibility, the only benefit of it is you're, testing the ammunition, testing the bombs, testing the missiles, testing the machines. That's about it. Because you cannot, if you bring it into a small scale, you will understand. If you have a problem with your neighbor, killing the father, or killing the son, or killing the mother, or killing somebody in that family is not going to solve your problem. It's just going to increase your problem. Because if you had a problem with the one member of that family, you kill one, and now you have all that family who are, want to kill you. So by violence and attacking any nation, any group, you're not going the right way. And the funny thing is, Mr. Zuckerberg, the funny thing is, the Chinese who are doing the right thing, and that is trying to educate the conservative out of. The Chinese are trying to educate the conservative with harsh measures. With harsh measures, I give you that. With harsh measures, they are trying to educate the conservative out of their landlocked Muslim minority. They are trying to educate the conservative out. Educate the conservative out of the mind of their landlocked Muslim minority. It's a Muslim minority which is in a landlocked region of China. It's a backward, it's landlocked. Again, as long as the Silk Road was there, that minority also was not so conservative and was not so shitty in China, because of the Silk Road brought them some new ideas. But unfortunately, since the Silk Road has been closed down, a lot of countries in Central Asia and a lot of regions in Central Asia has been, falling into conservatism, becoming very conservative because of the closure of the Silk Road. But China has made the right decision. They're educating them. Concentration camp, doesn't matter. Smack them upside the head until they learn. They become liberal. They open up. That's the right solution. You can't bomb people as the British pinkskin are doing. You can't bomb the conservative out of the Iraqis or the Syrians or the Afghans. You can't bomb it out. You have to educate it out. You don't want to start education camps in Afghanistan like China is doing in the Urgal region? Send them tourists. Instead of sending for every soldier that you have sent to Afghanistan, pull the soldier out and send 10 tourists. Pay your young people to go live in Afghanistan if you really want to help. Pay your young people to become tourists in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Syria. That's how you solve the conservative problem. You don't solve the conservative problem. You don't solve the shithead problem by killing a shithead, because the shithead has family and friends and neighbors, and every shithead you kill, you're gonna find another 20 shed. You're gonna make 20 more shithead enemies. It's as simple as that. Yes, Mr. Zuckerberg, my speech was not hate speech. What the British and French have been doing for centuries now, that's hate. What the British and French pink skin have been doing to the rest of the inhabitants of this planet for centuries now, just because they have been successful in building bigger arms, better arms, that's hate. I'm sure if Daesh had the nuclear weapons, the British would be sitting at the table and communicating with them and trying to, work things out. Or the British would be in their island minding their own business. The reason the British are pounding the shit out of these brown folks in the Middle East is because the brown folks in the Middle East don't have any way to defend themselves. They don't have the sophisticated weapons, period. And once you force them to drop their weapons like the Iraqis did, then you went and demolished their country. Pretend that they still have the arms. You went in and demolished the whole thing. My pink skin friends. Again, nothing against my pink skin friends. It's just that you're too naive. Your politicians are pushing this agenda of, yes, we have to go and test our arms, sell our arms, test our arms. The whole, half the GDP is in arms manufacturing. Why? Why is half the British GDP is in arms manufacturing? Why arms manufacturers have so much power in the pink skin lands? I don't feel I don't I don't think what I said was hate speech. But I do think what the British and the French and all these old colonial powers have been doing and are doing right now, and it seems they feel it's necessary for them to continue doing it in the future, that's hate. That's hate. British people not sitting in their own fucking island and minding their own fucking business, that's hate. British people think they have the right to go and take over a piece of land on the other side of the planet, name it Australia, eliminate the local population and substitute themselves in place of the local population. That's hate. Doing the same thing in Canada, that's hate. The pink skin coming and doing the same thing in the United States, the Northern Americas, that's hate. Doing the same thing in South America, that's hate. Eliminating the local population, just, they have a different color skin. They talk funny. So they must be savages. Eliminating them and replacing them with themselves, that's hate. Now doing the same thing in the Middle East. It's sort of like the pink skins never stop. They find enemies who doesn't look like them. Sometimes the enemy even looks like them, like the World War I and World War II, and this problem that is between the West and Russian. Even now that they look like each other, but still paranoid and aggressive towards each other. Even yeah. This paranoia and aggressiveness can only be cured that the pink skins have in abundance. Pink skins have paranoia and aggressiveness in abundance. This can only be cured with traveling, with tourism, from a young age. This can only be cured by forced tourism in a draft kind of situation. Send your young people for 2 years from the pink skin land to other places in the world for 2 years as a tourist and pay them. That's the only way you can cure this level of paranoia and aggressiveness. Military service makes this paranoia and aggressiveness even worse. Access to arms and this kind of, increases the paranoia and aggressiveness. What cures the paranoia and aggressiveness that the pink skins have is more travel. More travel. Even if they have to be paid to live in other places in the world as tourists, even if it has to be done that way, it should be done that way. The pink skins are too aggressive and too paranoid. They have shown it by eliminating the red skins. They have shown it by eliminating the bunch of yellow skins. They have shown it by eliminating black skins in Australia. They have shown it by eliminating the brown skins in India. They have shown it by eliminating the black skins in Africa. The pink skins have shown their aggressiveness and their paranoia by eliminating a whole bunch of other races around the world, including some of their own. Recently, for the past couple of 100 years. This can only be stopped with increased tourism, increased travel by the pink skins. This is not hate speech. This is factually identifying the problem and coming up with a solution for it. Mr. Zuckerberg. Factually identifying a problem and coming up with a solution for it. This is not hate speech.